Now let me tell you what else I do with this. I have them with pesto. This is free from pesto. This specific brand I only find on Ocado, and it's amazing. First of all, because it's organic, and then also, I mean, it only has basil, sunflower seed oil, water, pine kernels, garlic, salt, etc. Now, I could totally make my own pesto. I don't have time at the moment, so I buy this one. There's other kinds of vegan pesto in supermarkets. It's very easy to find. There's also a vegan red pesto. You can find them from Sainsbury's. This is just the one that I so happen to, because I like it's the perfect portion. I make 2 out of this little jar. Love it. And then last thing I do with noodles and zucchini noodles, again, I often make this myself, but I'm really busy at the moment, so I'm going for a few shortcuts. Tofu ragu. So this is made with tofu, of course, and it's literally like a ragu. You can see sun-ripe tomatoes, tofu, onion, red pepper, lemon juice, extra virgin olive oil, etc., etc. I've made it myself, very easy to make, but I like to also have these in the pantry for when I'm time pressed. So you get a sense that you need to set yourself up for success and not be too strict on yourself, because if you try and be perfect, you'll set yourself up for failure. Because at some point, sooner or later, you'll have to go for a less than perfect decision, and that might just throw you off. Whereas if you allow yourself for a little room of flexibility, such as the occasional treat with a more processed food item, or a ready-made sauce that you stick in the pantry from when you're really rushing, then you know that, you know, it's all about keeping the balance right. You see what I'm saying? So, fundamental keto ingredient. Olives. Love olives. I put them on my crackers with tofu. I put them in my sauces. When I make my shirataki noodles with pesto, I add a few olives in there. Or when I make them with tofu ragu, I add a few olives in there. I put them in my lunch salad. I'll do a video about my lunch salad. Can't go wrong with olives. Avocado. Man, do I love avocado. These are perfectly right, and they are actually the perfect size for me. I've been having 1 avocado a day as a part of the plant-based keto plan. This is the perfect size for me. It's kind of not too big, and they are just ripe enough. Love them. You can also make an avocado pesto. I haven't tried it myself. If anybody's tried it, feel free to share kind of what the experience was like. I'm sure it's delicious. And that chocolate mousse that I show you, the one that I make with silken tofu, there's loads of recipes that instead of using the tofu, they use the avocado. So if you're not so keen on the idea of using tofu in it, you can try it with avocado. Maybe I'll share a recipe. I'll try and do. So then what do we have? Some more non-perishables. Lupini beans. I don't know if you guys are familiar with lupini beans. I am really familiar with them because in Italy, where I'm from, we eat them all the time. And so I was very used to eating them throughout my entire childhood. In fact, fun fact, when we used to go to the beach in Sicily, on the highway, when you had to get the ticket to go through the highway, there would always be very long queues in the summer months, of course, because everybody goes to the beach in the summer months in Sicily. And there would be these guys selling lupini beans in bags for everybody waiting. So this is a real throwback ingredient for me because it brings me back home to my childhood in Sicily. I must say, I never used to eat them in London regularly until I did this plant-based keto thing, because lupini and edamame are the only beans that you can eat when you do plant-based keto. And so they've kind of been reintroduced into my diet here in London because of this plant-based keto thing. And I must say, I'm just so happy about this. They are super nutritious, super rich in fiber, relatively low in carbohydrates. Again, I'm only emphasizing this for the purpose of plant-based, not because it's a big deal at all in general. and I just love them. And I have them in my salads, or when I make my shirataki noodles with pesto, I also add lupinis for extra protein. They're very rich in protein, 9.5 grams for 100 grams. So that's lupini beans right here. So then we have nuts. So I can't quite understand your message, Sherry. I think you might have said that you just purchased lupini. I think that's what you said. If you did, I hope you like them. Let me know how you get on. Macadamia nuts. These are roasted and salted. I love these so much. They are probably the most, these and walnuts and almonds. I've run out of walnuts, but I have almonds. Are the most keto friendly kind of nuts. Although generally speaking, nuts are pretty keto friendly. The only nut that if you're doing keto you need to be aware of is cashews. Cashews are to be avoided because they are quite high in carbohydrates. Love the macadamians. Again, I have them as a snack, or I put them on top of salads when I want a little extra sprinkle of something. These are activated almonds from our partners of choice, the lovely people at NutMed. NutMed do these lovely subscription boxes of healthy snacks. Well, they're all activated nuts in different natural flavors. Now, what does it mean for it to be activated? Activated means that they have been soaked and then dried again. So they're not cooked because they're dried at a very low temperature for a long time after they've been soaked, so that they retain all the nutrition. When you activate nuts, when you put them through this process, what happens is that they become more easily digestible, and you are able to absorb the nutrients more easily because they lose some of the components that sometimes impede the absorption of the nutrients. It's a fiddly process that I have never frankly done myself at home, if I can be completely honest. And I love that the people at NutMed have taken it upon themselves to activate some of my favorite nuts. I get them from them. All our shifters get a discount. So if you're looking and you're working with us and you're interested in getting some of these sent to you, they only ship to the UK though for now. So sorry for the US folks. So our shifters, as a part of their packages, they get the weekly subscription boxes for as long as they work with us, and then they get a discount even after they've worked with us because they are the best nuts in town. And what I do with these almonds is when I make my little yogurt dessert with raspberry, I also put a handful of nuts together with the coconut. So then we have Hilly. This is not necessarily a keto item, it's just my favorite coffee. And I am trying the decaf option just to see how much I enjoy the decaf versus caffeinated in the morning, because I've recently watched a video from the amazing Dr. Greger at Nutrition Facts, the author of the most amazing book on nutrition called How Not to Die, and he's done a video on drinking coffee and how coffee contains loads of antioxidants, etc. However, sometimes the caffeine kind of takes away from some of the health benefits of drinking coffee. So I always thought that decaf wasn't a great idea because of how the caffeine is taken out of it, of the process of decaffeinating coffee. However, I am reassured that they have since far evolved and it's not a chemical process any longer, and Hilly is a particularly good brand. So following from that video, if you want to know what this video is about coffee, if you're concerned about your coffee intake, I mean, I don't think one coffee a day is a big deal. That's all I drink. I only ever drink a coffee a day. But I'm curious to experiment with decaf and see how I get on. So I wouldn't worry too much if you were drinking only 1 or 2 coffees a day. If you're drinking tons of coffee, then it's worth pondering, shifting some of your drinking to other sources, other items, because a lot of caffeine is definitely bad for you and bad for your nervous system, and it depletes you of some vitamins and minerals because it's a natural diuretic. Anyways, lots of coffee is not good. 1 or 2 coffees is not bad, but I am going to experiment with decaf, see how I get on. However, since we're talking about drinks, these have been some of my favorite teas at the moment that I really genuinely enjoy. Now, let me tell you this, within the context of the plant-based keto thing that I'm doing, the reason why I'm loving anything vanilla-y, cinnamony, chai-ish, is because I'm literally not having any sugar at all. I mean, this is the most sugary item I have is 10 or 15 raspberries in my desserts. I have completely lost the taste for sugar. So these teas right here taste super sweet to me now. There's no other sugar in them, obviously. It's just that they contain ingredients that they are naturally have a bit of a sweet taste to them, such as cinnamon. What else is in here? Maybe vanilla. Ingredients. Cinnamon, ginger, licorice, sweet fennel seed, cardamom, vanilla pod. Anyways, I'm telling you, it's such a treat to drink it because it tastes like a real treat, sweet treat, even though there's no sugar in it. And that's one of the perks of like losing the taste for sugar, is that you really don't need very much to kind of feel satisfied in that field. Second, chamomile and honey. Calming effect on the nervous system. And this is, by the way, scientific, the chamomile that's really calming effect. So this is my favorite good night or good night tea. And then let me tell you, yes, you can eat chocolate on a keto way of eating. Now, you've got to go for anything 80 or 85% and above. This is 95% from the vine. Exceptionally rich dark chocolate, and really, really exceptionally rich. Which, by the way, the whole thing is 80 grams. So it's like more than the whole thing, which I would never eat. For 100 grams, it's got 10 grams of carbohydrates. Bearing in mind, I only ever eat like 3 squares, which is probably, I don't know, less than 10 grams. And it's a nice way to, you know, have a little sweet something treat at the end of a meal without going crazy. It's hardly any sugar because it's 95% cocoa solids. 95% cocoa solids. Now here, oh, interesting, because here it says may contain milk, cereals, gluten and nuts. Now, for the vegans out there, or the people who are trying vegan plant-based, I want you to know that there's nothing to worry about when you see on a label that it may contain milk or other items. The only reason why they put, unless, this is by the way, unless you are actually allergic to that item. So if you have a gluten intolerance and you may end up in hospital if you come in contact with gluten or dairy, then you need to avoid items that say may contain. If you are just vegan and all you're doing is trying to avoid animal products, the may contain is not a big deal, because all it means is that it's processed in a factory that also handles those other ingredients. So they write it on there to cover their back for people that are actually allergic and might end up in hospital. But if it's not on the ingredient list, it's not in the actual product. Do you see what I'm saying? Is this making sense? Can somebody give me a thumbs up if I explain this thoroughly? If not, maybe I'll just write it so that you guys understand this distinction. If milk or eggs or gluten or other things are in the actual ingredient list, then they're most definitely in the product. Thank you. If it's just a may contain, it means that the product is handled in a facility that also handles the other products. So you only need to worry about that if you are actually allergic and might end up in hospital. I think I've gone through everything. Oh, hold on. These guys. Crispy seaweed tins. So they're nothing but little packs. Like here, look. Crispy seaweed, wasabi flavor. I love seaweed. It's not for everyone, it's an acquired taste, but I love eating it as a little snack or sprinkling it on salad or putting it in my stir fries. In fact, for the stir fries, let me show you. I have another kind, which is this one. Green nori sprinkle. Sea vegetable condiments, and I sprinkle these on my stir fries, and it's like a powder as opposed to those ones are like crackers. Oh, look what I saw in here. This is when I want to feel special. A drizzle of truffle oil. I love truffle. I'm obsessed with it. I think this is all I got for today. It's quite a bit, right? Was this useful? Let me know. Let me know if you liked going through this. I just want to make, actually, I just saw it, and I want to make a quick note on stevia. Stevia is sugar-free natural sweetener. It's not like those but it doesn't have any sugar. It comes from a plant. It's not an acquired taste. Oh, I love that, Andrea. Thank you for clarifying that. Vegan society is 100% vegan. Yes, that's a good way of distinguishing the labels. Sorry, that's a side note. Anyway, stevia, I don't like it in everything, and I don't like a lot of it. But I think it's also generally because I don't like things to be particularly sweet, and it's very strong, so you need to be careful how much of it you use. Like I said, I put it in my yogurt and in my mousse, but I put literally a drop of it just to give it a little bit of a slightly sweet taste. You could do without it. This is again if you're doing keto, by the way. If you're not doing keto, don't even go down that route. Sweetener. I only ever do. Oh, agave actually. Agave is my favorite. Some of these will last me a week, like the veggies, the fruit. This is definitely just 1 week's worth. I go through all of these in 1 week, like without a doubt. The nuts as well, 1 week for sure. Obviously coffee will last me longer, teas will last me longer, chocolate will last me like 2 solid weeks. I mean, let me tell you how many portions is there in here for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 days worth of chocolate for me. Condiments will last me forever. These I'm probably going to end up tossing it because there's no way I'm going to finish it before I go to the US. I only ever do a tablespoon of that. These will probably last me 2 solid weeks. The yogurt, I have half of these each time. So that's 2 portions for me. These will last me forever. These won't last me forever. At all. Because I love it and I eat it every day. If you have any questions, let me know. If there's more that you'd like me to tell you about this, I tell you what, maybe I'll start sharing some more recipes. Now, obviously, again, I'm repetitive, but some of you have only just joined, so I want to make sure I clarify this. This is the plant-based keto shopping list. It's not whole food plant-based shopping list, so quite different. Although there will be some overlaps. This is specifically for anybody that wants to try the plant-based keto thing, which is what I'm doing right now. And it was just to give you an idea of what I'm eating, because I've gotten so many questions as to what kind of my food choices have been whilst doing this plant-based keto thing. If you don't care about the keto thing, there are so many more things that are not on this table that you should delve deep into, such as legumes, root vegetables, whole grains, brown pasta, all that kind of goodness. But I'm chronically my experiment, and so I'm staying true to that. Any questions? Let me know. Hope you enjoyed this, and I shall talk to you very soon. Happy Sunday, everybody. Ciao for now.